On behalf of the entire team at Blue Horizon Investment Limited, I extend a very warm and sincere welcome to you. We are truly delighted to have you join us today. At Blue Horizon Investment Limited, our core mission revolves around providing unparalleled insight into the ever evolving landscape of key industries and the broader economy. We believe that truly informed decisions are born from deep, meticulous research and analysis. This is not just a philosophy for us, it's the very foundation of our operations. We are not merely about investment, we are about empowerment through knowledge. That's why a significant part of our commitment at Blue Horizon Investment Limited is dedicated to educating the public. We strive to demystify complex market dynamics, highlight emerging trends, and provide actionable intelligence that can help individuals and businesses alike navigate the financial world with greater confidence. Today, you are here because we share our passion for understanding the intricate forces that shape our economy and industries. So, whether you are an experienced investor, a curious learner, or someone looking to gain a deeper understanding of market trends, you are in the right place. We are excited to share our insights, methodologies, and the result of our extensive research with you. So, during this session, we will delve into our approach of deep research and analysis, how we identify crucial data points and translate them into valuable intelligence, key industry and economic trends, an overview of the most significant shifts and opportunities we foresee, practical applications, how this knowledge can be applied to make more informed investment and business decisions. We encourage you to actively participate, to ask questions, to engage in discussions. Your contributions are invaluable to fostering a truly collaborative learning environment. Thank you once again for your presence and your dedication to continuous learning. We look forward to an insightful and enriching session together. Thank you. Future job market. Essential skills in the AI era. I want you to imagine this. One morning you wake up and you realize the world has changed. In fact, the skills you've worked so hard to master, these skills have quietly expired. And the job you thought was secure, it has now become automated. Hmm. The industries you believed would always be there, the ones that have been there for decades, they've been disrupted overnight. You know what? This is not fiction. It's not a movie trailer. This is happening right now as we speak. You see, the future of work is not coming, it's already here. It's not something unfolding in a distant time, it is unfolding in real time. Artificial intelligence is not just changing jobs, it is redefining what a job even means in the first place. It is rewriting the rules, and it is doing this thing faster than most people can even process. So, my name is Confidence O. Peters, and I've been studying artificial intelligence, global work trends, and the future job market since 2019. I've been doing this not as a hobby, not as a trend chaser, but with deep, intentional focus. I've been tracking patterns, I've been watching industry shift, and preparing for the exact moments that we are in right now. In fact, some of the things I predicted and shared as far back as 2019 on my podcast, The Billion Effect, are now playing out globally. And I can confidently tell you there's more to come. In fact, much more, much more. And that is why you need to listen carefully and follow this training very diligently. What you're about to get in this training is not theory at all. It's not some kind of recycled noise. It is based on years of research, on pattern recognition, and a deep understanding of what is actually moving under the surface of this AI revolution. Because, quite frankly, make no mistake, we are at the brink, we are at the crux of a technological revolution. So, this is not another motivational lecture, it is not a feel good chat. This is your survival kit, this is your roadmap, this is your competitive edge. This is where you either choose to adapt and thrive or stay behind and get replaced, quite frankly. Because let's be honest, AI is not here to take all the jobs. It can't even do that. However, it will definitely take the jobs of people who refuse to upskill, people who refuse to reskill, people who refuse to reposition themselves. If you have been attentive or sensitive or even paying attention to the media, you are going to realize that there is a brutal sorting of some sort going on right now. It is silent, but it is aggressive. Those who are prepared will rise. Those who resist will be left behind. You see, but you don't have to be a victim of this shift. I keep telling people that you don't have to be a victim of this shift. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to panic because you can be one of those who win. And I want you to be one of those who win. You can position yourself, you can develop the right skills, you can become one of the most valuable players in the world, in this new world. And I'm here to help you do exactly that. So in this training, I'm going to take you by the hand and I'm going to walk you through the most critical things you need to know and do. So here's what we are going to cover. In module 1, we are going to look at the future job market in the AI era. So we're going to break down the job market, where it is heading, what is shifting, and why certain rules will either explode in demand or completely disappear. I'll help you understand the forces reshaping work so you can see what most people are blind to. In module 2, we're going to look at the skills you need to thrive. We're going to uncover the specific skills you must develop to remain relevant and competitive. We're going to look at the human skills, we're going to look at the technical skills, we're going to look at the hybrid skills that will put you in high demand no matter your industry. In module 3, we're going to look at industry skills and case studies. So these are domain industry skills. We'll dive deep into specific industries, explore how they're being disrupted, and study real-life examples of businesses who are successfully integrating and have even successfully navigated this shift. And of course, there are many who have failed to adapt. In module 4, we're going to look at how to prepare yourself. So finally, I'll give you a clear and practical sequence of steps you can take to future-proof yourself. You need to build resilience and start your reskilling journey immediately, right? But before we dive into module 1, I want to pause here and answer a very important question. A question that many people ask, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes unconsciously. But this question is very important. And you know what this question is? Why AI? Right? Why artificial intelligence? So let's settle this up front. First is AI is not coming. I've said it a few times. AI is here already. It's here already. And so right now, AI is reshaping the world in real time. So this is not some distant futuristic thing that people talk about in tech conferences. No, this is not something you see in sci-fi movies. AI is in your home. AI is in your phone. It's in your job. It's in your life. Actually, it's everywhere now. AI is integrated into everywhere, every social media. When you open your social media feed, for example, AI is deciding what you see. When you search on Google, AI is deciding the answers that are being shown to you. When you shop online, AI is setting your prices. AI is recommending what you should buy next. When you walk into a smart store, AI is tracking, is analyzing, and even sometimes is handling your entire transaction without sometimes human contact. That's the power that's going on now. It's happening now and it's moving fast. You see, the global AI market is projected to hit $4.8 trillion by 2032. This is 4.8 trillion United States dollars. This is trillion with a T, not even a B, a T. That is not small money by any means, any economy, any measurement. 4.8 trillion is not small. That is a complete economic transformation. That is a massive. Think about that. 4.8 trillion United States dollars. That's larger than the entire GDP of many, many countries. So, and the ones driving this shift are not playing small either. In fact, in 2025 alone, tech giants such as Amazon, Microsoft, Google invested over $300 billion plus in AI. Think about that. I mean, in 2025 alone, as of the time of the recording of this training, this is June of 2025. So we are not yet at the end of the first half of 2025, and already some companies have pulled in 300 United States billion dollars in AI. Why? That's a question that any serious person should ask. Why? Simple. Because they see exactly where the world is going. These companies are not testing AI for fun. You know, they're betting their entire future. They're betting the future of their businesses on AI. They're building tools, they're building platforms, they're building systems that will reshape the industries at the core. In fact, about 2 or 3 days before the recording of this training, Meta and Mark Zuckerberg just purchased a company for about 14 billion plus 14.3 or 14.5 billion, just to get the trainer that trained the model of OpenAI to come join them. That's massive. That is that is not that is not small money, actually. So they're not asking if AI will work. They're not doing that. They're asking how fast can they scale it. So here's another number that you need to hear. About 72% of companies today use AI. They use it in some way, they use it in some form, in some shape. And that's not future potential, oh, that's present reality. So they're using it, not that they will begin to use it, they're already using it. It's in the factories, it's in the hospitals, it's in the bank, it's on your phone, it's even in the customer service chatbot that you used last week. There's a high chance and a high probability that if in the past 2 or 3 months you've actually engaged with a customer care chatbot on their website, even sometimes on WhatsApp, there's a high possibility that you had a conversation with AI, right? Because companies are already integrating it. And I promise you, very soon, it is going to take over major operations of organization. So what does this mean? That's the question you should be asking yourself. What does this mean? It means that these companies are moving with or without you. You see, when they wanted to start going after AI, they didn't call a meeting, a committee, and invite you and said, "Hey, we want to go to the next phase of the technological revolution. Are you giving your support?" No, they didn't seek your permission. They moved. The job descriptions are changing. The required skills are shifting. The way we work is transforming. And here's the part most people miss: AI is not here to replace every human being. Of course not. But AI will absolutely replace the human beings who refuse to adapt. That's what I've been hammering on. If you refuse to adapt, AI will replace you. That is why you cannot afford to sit back and hope it all passes you by, because it won't. Actually, it won't. So why should you care? Because this is not optional. This is not about if anymore. It is about when and how prepared you'll be. AI is not the future. AI is here already. AI is not the future. There was a time when we were saying it in 2019, it was the future. Now, 2025, it is not. It is here. So the question is, are you participating or are you passively observing? I want to ask that question again. Are you participating or are you passively observing? Thinking, hey, it's not going to touch me, it's going to pass by. You see, you don't need to become a machine learning engineer to stay relevant, although it's a very critical skill, and I'm going to talk about it. If you need it, if you need to learn it, learn it. You don't need to become a machine learning engineer. However, you need to understand what is changing. You need to understand where the jobs are shifting. You need to understand what skills are becoming priceless, and how you can position yourself now. That's why I created this training. That is why Blue Horizon Investment is powering this training to help you do exactly that. Because the people who learn, adjust, and act quickly, they're the ones who will lead the next generation of work. And the people who ignore this, quite frankly, they will get left behind, and they will be left behind fast. So when you hear the phrase, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today, I want you to understand that this is not just motivational talk. This is a life strategy. This is survival. This is the smart move to make. So it's no longer an option. Quite frankly, it's no longer optional. Your skills, your career, your future, they're either growing or they're dying. There's no neutral zone anymore. And I'm taking my time in this introduction to make you come to this realization. So that if you've been thinking, oh, this AI thing is not for me, or oh, this AI thing is still far away. Let me tell you right now, the train is already moving. The question is, are you on it or not? Are you on the train that's already moving? Because if you are not there, it's going to move without you. Like I said earlier, they didn't call your permission to say, hey, we want to move to the future. What do you say? What's your verdict? The standard, the bar has been raised without your permission. And that requires that you raise your game. And so I don't want you to just be on the train. I want you to be in the driver's seat. I want you to lead in this new era, to not just be somebody that things are happening to, or an organization that things are happening to, but to be the ones orchestrating these changes in your industry, in your organization. I want you to win at a high level. So that's why we put together this training for you, to help you navigate this shift, to build the right skills and secure your place in the future of work. This training is designed to make you dangerously relevant. I'm telling you, we put this training together with the intention to make you just absolutely dangerously relevant, to give you the awareness, the strategies, and the tools you need to protect your income, to protect your career, to protect your future. So if you're planning to just breeze through this, I took my time in this introduction to tell you to slow down, to lean in on this, to commit, to learn, because your future deserves that level of attention. The people who will win in this new era will not be the ones who work the hardest, actually. They'll be the ones who understand the shift, who build the right skills, and know where to position themselves. And quite frankly, you are already in the right place. This is the right place to start. So let's get serious. All right, let's get intentional, get ready, so that by the end of this training, you will not just understand the future, you will know how to build your place in it. And you will never look at your career the same way again. So if you're ready, let's get started. Welcome to Module 1, the future job market in the AI era. So in this module, we are going to dive deep into what does the future job market look like? What roles are going to be relevant? What roles are going to be going away? What kind of jobs are going to have some kind of say? What kind of jobs are going to be rewarded? What kind of jobs are going to be replaced, so that you can take a holistic and helicopter view of what you are doing, of your industry, of what is going on, right? But before we dive into the future job market, I want to point your attention to a very critical aspect of AI that is going to be doing a lot of the things that people are doing right now. Now, this aspect of AI is so powerful that it can displace tens and hundreds of people, just one of it. You can have a couple of it in your organization. And that is why you must understand this, and you must understand how to utilize it. They are called AI agents. AI agents. Now, the man you see on your screen is called Robert F. Smith. He's the CEO of Vista Equity Partners, a private equity capital company. And in June 2025, the month of this recording, he was speaking in a conference, a very popular conference, the Super Return International Private Capital Conference in Berlin. Now, this conference is regarded as the world's largest private equity gathering. So in conference like this, you see the senior executives of top financial organizations, from global investment giants like Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, KKR, and the likes of them, right? And when he was speaking at this conference that had more than 5,500 top private equity leaders, like top guys. So these are not entry levels, right? These are the top of the top private equity leaders in the world. And he made a very striking statement. Now, I said all of this so that you will know the weight of the statement he made. Yeah, here's what he said. We think that next year, 40% of the people at this conference will have an AI agent, and the remaining 60% will be looking for work. Listen to that. 40% of the people at this conference, those are the top leaders in the private equity industry, will have an AI agent, and the remaining 60% will be looking for work. Now, The question is, what are AI agents? And why should I be concerned? Right? What are AI agents? An AI agent is a software program that uses artificial intelligence to perform tasks autonomously. That is, without human involvement. It can interact with its environment, it can learn from data, it can achieve specific goals set by a human, and it can just go do it on its own. So, for example, you can give a task to a. So, I come from the background of marketing, sales, strategy, advertising, and one of the things that people do today to get customers or get clients if they are selling to a B2B market is that they go on Google, they go on LinkedIn, and they research a list of companies that can be a good fit for their product and for their services. And they send them messages, they send them DMs, and they start a conversation with them, and they get them to book an appointment in the calendar to be able to talk with one of their business development executives or sales rep or something like that. An AI agent can do this 24/7. An AI agent can go look for all the people, get their contact addresses, get their email addresses, send them emails, send them DMs, have conversations with them, get them to be scheduled for an appointment without a human even lifting a finger. And he can do this 365 days a year. Doesn't need breaks, doesn't need vacations, it doesn't need sick leave. This is powerful. A lot of people's jobs are going to be threatened. And this is just one. I'm going to give you a lot more. And so AI agents, they can do a whole lot of things. They are going to be literally replacing a lot of people, a lot of roles. Unless you upskill and reskill and reposition yourself to play more strategic roles and to learn how to use these agents to be able to create value in your industry, to be able to create value in your organization. All right, so I want us to dive deeper into what are the jobs that will be affected. What are some of the jobs, right? I'm going to share a few here with you. I can't share all of them because they're just so much. If I want to share all of them, maybe 90%, 70% of the jobs, but some jobs will be affected, some jobs will be totally eroded, will be gone, actually. Some jobs will be impacted in the sense that they will need to be used in conjunction with AI. And so I've seen several people who have teams. Let's say they have in a particular department, they have 10 people doing a particular thing. However, with AI or AI agents and chatbots, they have 2 people now doing what 10 people used to do and doing it 10 times faster. That is what we are talking about here. All right, so what are some of these? Let me just share a few so that you know some of the jobs that will be affected. Customer service. First, this is the most basic. It's already happening so much. You can have chats and conversations in websites, on WhatsApp, and you're not even talking to a human being, you're speaking with AI. So, customer service, AI powered chatbots. They can handle customer inquiries, they can troubleshoot issues, and even complete transactions. But here is the kicker: it is more than just chatbots. Today, there are AI agents that, let's say a lead comes in, somebody makes an inquiry. Oh, how much is this? You will get a call and a voice will speak to you that sounds like a human voice, but it's not a human, it's AI. The voice will be great, the new ones will be great, they will understand your joke. I'm kidding you not, right? And the AI chatbot or AI agent will have a conversation with you, ask you what you are trying to accomplish, understand your objectives, and then either one, close the sale, complete the transaction, or will now schedule you to have an appointment or a conversation with a sales rep, with a consultant, with a business development executive, or another customer service personnel that is a human that can help you finalize the transaction. All of this is happening as I speak. I have seen so many demos of them. So if you do any kind of customer service, men, don't think that job role is safe. You need to upskill more than most people. All right, that's customer service. That's going to be affected from bottom to top, from all sides. Secondly, content creation, and we are seeing it, and perhaps maybe I've even used it already. AI agents can generate different forms of content. including text, images, videos. They can even code now for you. AI agents can build an entire website in minutes. What you would pay somebody some crazy amount of money to do, an AI agent will build it in minutes, and then you just need to change one or two things and tweak a few things, right? And so with Google VO, for example, you can build ultra realistic images, videos. You can shoot entire commercials that will cost millions of naira, or even hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, depending on your currency and your country. You can do it now with $200 a month. You can do it now with a few dollars a month, and you can do it in 3 minutes. You can do it in 5 minutes. Entire industries are going to shift. I'm telling you. So if you think that, oh, my graphics design is safe, think again. My video making is safe, think again. Because you have to be able to learn how to use these tools to be able to create now 10 times for your clients, 10 times for your organization, 10 times for your employer, 10 times for your market at lower cost. That is why content creation is one of the jobs that will be affected. Research and analysis. AI will conduct research, they will analyze the data and provide insights for decision making. Remember, where I gave an example of, let's say you are a BD executive, or you get leads, or you sell to B2B, and you have to go do some research, you have to analyze who's going to be our target market. AI can do all of that. AI can do all of that. And interestingly, recently I worked on a project that the research, the analysis of the data, the coming up with the entire document, the strategy was about 95% done by AI. And so if a major part of your job requires research and analysis, AI is there for you. But the reason why I'm saying this is not for you to be afraid, but for you to be able to learn to use it, for you to be able to upskill, right? Software development. It's interesting that before, if you wanted to build apps, you would have to learn how to code. Now, AI agents can assist with coding, can assist with debugging, checking when there are errors, can help you test the softwares. They're creating more and more platforms, Replit, and quite a couple of them that can help you. These days, you don't even need to, you may not even need to know how to write a line of code. Just know how to talk and communicate your idea clearly. Several of them, just be able to communicate your idea clearly. They will build the apps. Now, it may not be as perfect as you expect it to be, but man, this is June 2025, and the progress that has been made between January and now is massive. 2 years max, 2 years tops. Any and everybody can make any kind of app or software whatsoever, almost any kind of app or software whatsoever. All they have to do is to be able to think and talk and be clear about the idea, and boom, in minutes, and quite frankly, in seconds, it's out. So software development is a critical role here, man, that AI is going to touch. Healthcare. AI agents can analyze medical images faster than most humans will be able to do on their best days. They can assist with diagnosis, and they can manage patient care. And I'm going to even go deeper and share with you a case study, of healthcare. But this is so critical that there are so many cases now that AI, there are so many case studies. If not for the sake of time, I would show you many case studies for healthcare, many case studies for each of them, that AI can really go in and can do a lot of the work, cut hundreds of thousands of hours, save hundreds of thousands of hours for the hospital. It's incredible. This is something you need to watch out for. If you are in finance, AI can automate transactions, it can review your documents, it can conduct financial audits, and it will be more accurate than most humans. Many things that many humans will miss, trying to balance one or two things. Oh, man, there are a lot of AI agents tools that can be able to do that. Guys, a lot of people are going to be endangered. A lot of people are already endangered. And that is why it's important that you skill up, right? Finance is one of them. The next, robotics. AI agents can now control robots in manufacturing, in logistics, in other areas. So when you see drone deliveries, when you see the entire things that are coming up with robotics, and interestingly, robotics is another field of its own that is springing up in this new era. But you know what? Before you create robots and you automate them, you process them, you tell them what to do. Now, you don't need to do all of that. You create robots and the AI will control them. The robots will walk, they will clean, they will mop. That you think you need cleaners. Even a cleaner is not even safe on some level because the robots will clean. It's an interesting future. It's an interesting future. Legal. AI can assist with tasks like legal research now, document review, contract analysis, impacting paralegals, and legal assistant. Many things you will need one, a senior or even a junior lawyer or attorney to do. AI will do all of that. Look for evidences, find the loopholes faster. Powerful, powerful. If you're in legal industry, please take notes, take notes. Contract preparing. Oh, things have to be done now at the speed of light because AI is already here. I would have said it's coming for your job, but it's already here and it's taking the jobs of many. You just have to go and check on LinkedIn to see how people are, saying, "Oh, I didn't even know this was happening. We just laid off X number of people because we just figure out we can't keep spending all this money when AI is doing the job for us." That's something to think about, right? Proofreading and translation. This is AI powered tools. AI powered tools can proofread and translate with greater speed and accuracy. I know what they're becoming better than humans. They can translate very quickly. They can proofread for errors, more attention to details. What a human will miss, it is machine. It is based on the rigor of science. They will find it out. They'll find it out. All right. Next, graphics design. This I see many people striving so hard to learn graphics design today. When talking to the right tool, you can say, "This is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want." With clear thinking, clear communication, you will have 10 of those designs in less than 5 minutes. AI power tools are capable of creating designs that can potentially leave graphic designers in a very messy state. So if you're in graphics design or you have an agency that does branding, learn how to incorporate this. Like I said, this will make it now easier for you to do more for your clients. Where before, what you would supply would be one or two or three, you know, marketing assets or graphics or something. Now you can supply 30. You can do it in less than 10% of the time it would have initially taken you. So it means that some people, if you had a team of 20 graphic designers, or if you are a team of 20 you all can be there because AI will take some of you out, right? Human resources. You see some aspect of HR, some aspects such as recruitment, such as onboarding, automating will impact HR and HR specialists. Because when jobs are put out and you see there are 1,000 applicants, that the HR guys will now be taking their time to go through all these applications, all these CVs. No way. They just need to set their parameters to get the best people. And AI is going to sort through that, bam, in minutes, if not seconds. And they get the best people and boom, and the rest are gone. So what you will need a team of 5 HR people to do, you just need one person and one AI. It's an incredible thing. It is something to pay attention to. Right? Marketing and advertising. AI will analyze consumer data and trends, allowing marketers to create more targeted campaigns. And in fact, it will do this in such a way that you can be running your advertising, maybe Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and AI is analyzing your data in real time and is making changes, turning off some ad campaigns, turning on some other ones, seeing what is working on LinkedIn, seeing how to juxtapose this and integrate it, what's happening on Facebook and on Instagram. It's a new world. It's a new world. It's a new world. And you must be prepared for this new world. And that is why I'm doing this video training. Right? And in all of this, AI will do this with reduced human error. You see that error that humans have? Now, AI may still be doing some errors, but I promise you that way better than they were earlier in this year, January of 2025. This is June 2025, as of the time of the recording of this training. And the human errors and the errors of the AI has been greatly reduced. So they're going to do all of this thing with less human errors. And then they're going to do it in faster response time. So, and I use these tools. I work with them. Some things that will normally take me 2 weeks to get done, 3 weeks to get done, will take me 15 minutes. That's a lot of time savings, man. That's a lot of time savings. And then there will be data and security compliance. Things that they don't need to, that you may have needed to share with 5 people. You are working on a case for a client, and now 6 or 7 people need to see it, and they all have to write an NDA and do all of that. That is not going to go out. It's just now you and one AI, and the both of you review it, and you're good. And then, last but not the least, AI is able to customize the experiences for everyone, for every client. However, they're able to deal with you. They're able to scale customized experiences, personalized experiences, right? They're able to scale that, which is one of the difficult things, for example, in many service-based businesses. But AI brings that to bear, right? Now, what are some of the key industries that are going to be disrupted? One of them is healthcare. I said it before, and we're going to go deeper into it. Healthcare, to help, AI will help with diagnosis, remote care, the drug discovery of many of the illnesses. AI will help. There'll be a disruption there. The next, finance. From AI powers, fast trading, to fraud detection, to robo advisors on how to move, where to put the finance, how to do the capital structure, how to do the deals. AI is going to be playing very big there. Manufacturing, already there are smart factories, and then predictive maintenance, quality control, to know, oh, it's time, your machines are going to break down in 3 months' time if you don't do the servicing now. What humans will try to calculate and do and figure out, yeah, I can do that more quickly. And we'll go deeper into them, right? Education. So AI tutors will be there. Personalized learning. So they can be 5,000 kids. All of them are getting personalized learning. Automated grading, where the teacher before may have to take a look at all of them and go and labor over it. AI, with the right instructions, with the right programming. It's more than programming anyway, it's machine learning. With the right guidance, can do automated grading. So what is the takeaway here? The change is deep. If you don't think it's deep, you are joking. The change is deep, and it's not something futuristic. The change is happening now. That's the takeaway. The change is happening now. Now, I cannot show you all the jobs that are going to be affected without showing you the future of the kind of jobs that you should expect. All right. So, what are some of the new jobs created by AI? What I want to do in this particular section or in this particular slide is that I want to show you the general jobs, some of the jobs that when you have them, you can fit in almost anywhere and in many different companies and industries, right? And then in future models, we are going to go into specific domain specific job skills that you need. All right. So one of them is AI prompt engineering. AI prompt engineering. So as an AI prompt engineer, you specialize in crafting effective prompts to guide the behavior of AI model. Now, remember what I said before? One of the critical skills, or two of the critical skills going forward in the future, will be the ability to think clearly and communicate effectively, right? And so, to be a good prompt engineer, you need to have those skills, right? So, specializing in crafting effective prompts to guide the behavior of AI, right? Cyber security analyst with AI expertise, which means you use AI to detect and prevent cyber threats. Because this is one of the biggest downsides to AI, is that people can do virtually anything. One, because AI can create a video of somebody, can take, let's say, the president of the United States of America. AI can create a video of the president and can also extract their voice and can basically give them a script that you say, hey, I want the president to say XYZ. Something that the president didn't say, AI can create a video of the president saying it, and it will have his voice and it will look like him, and many people will be fooled, right? And so cyber security now becomes a key issue. And this is just one very minor, tiny example that I know and most people can relate to it. But there are a lot more things that now, because of all of the opportunities that AI brings, there's a lot of threats. There's a lot of threats. So if you can master some form of cyber security or build expertise in cyber security, this will be powerful. Data scientist. This is going to be critical because you are going to be working with data. Now, as a data scientist, you are going to analyze data to extract insights and informed decision making, often working with AI models. Because you are going to be working with, see, as we continue, the models are going to keep becoming better. are going to keep developing. And every communication or conversation with AI are pulling in lots and lots of data, and you must be able to interpret those data accurately and to make informed decisions from those data, right? Next, machine learning engineer. Now, I said it earlier that you may not need to be a machine learning engineer, but man, if you have the head for it, go for it, because it is going to be critical. It's more than just being a developer, a machine learning engineer. Here, you develop and implement machine learning models, which is very important. So, this is a critical role here, right? AI product managers. Why is this important? Most companies are now going to have AI powered products. That is it. Most people, most companies, most organizations are going to have AI powered products. And as a product manager, you'll be overseeing the development and launch of this AI powered product. You must understand it at a great level, at a meta level, right? AI product manager. Next, AI customer experience specialist. AI customer experience specialist. Your role here is to enhance customer interaction with AI applications, because some people up until now don't know how to interact with AI. Most people don't even know because there are different tools that are coming up, that are showing up, and AI is going to continually evolve. There are many tools now that I use, and I don't even type, I just talk with it. And I think even the most recent development of Meta AI on your WhatsApp, you just send a voice note. You don't even need to type anything. So if you are thinking about how do I practice it, just send a voice note to Meta AI, and it's going to translate. It's going to take it from there. So there are going to be different iterations, different evolving of this AI experience, and we're going to need a customer experience AI specialist, right? That could be a role that you look into. Next, robotics engineer, because robots are going to become more in play, right? And so, as a robotics engineer, you design, you build, you maintain robots, increasingly incorporating AI. Meaning, it's not just robots that you control, but robots that are AI powered, robots that can learn. Can you imagine that? I mean, in 2019, when that occurred to me, it was a crazy idea that machine, the way you can learn, and in 6 months you are wiser, you are more intelligent, is the way that a machine can learn. And in 6 months, in 6 days, they are wiser, they are more intelligent, they can make a better decision, they can make a different decision because they have learned now more. That's interesting. That's more than programming, that's more than automation, that is reasoning, logic. And if you check many of your AI tools now, let me even just call the popular ones. If you check tools like DeepSeek, if you check tools like Quen, I think ChatGPT, and you click on the thinking feature, you will see how it is reasoning the answer that it is going to give you. The output is going to produce for you. You're going to see the reasoning there. That's to show you that machines are beginning to think. Someone says, where's it going to take us? What if we blow up? Well, that's symposium conversation. Discussion for another day and another training, right? AI ethics consultant. One of the things that will be a threat is how do we use it ethically? So, an AI ethics consultant will address ethical consideration related to AI development and deployment. This ethics consultant is now going to, at some point, be required in organizations, right? Because of what can be done and undone, and also because of what can be done and not be undone, right? So ethics is going to be a very critical role, right? Then AI research scientist. Now, the focus here is on developing new AI algorithms and techniques, right? So this is very important. So AI research scientist is going to be another interesting role. All right. Computer vision engineer. A computer vision engineer develops systems that allow computers to see and interpret images and videos. They will see and they will interpret images and videos. Because if you understand what I've been talking about so far, and probably you have been seeing it, maybe doing some research or studies on your own, you are going to see the evolution of AI. How is it with being so rigid and only text-based, to seeing it interacting with images, to seeing it interacting with videos, and to see it interacting with your environment. And so computer vision engineer will continually enhance this. That you can even just say, you can take a picture or a video of your room, say, look at my room. I want an interior decorator. I want to change the interior decoration of my room, right? Or my office. or my kitchen, or you can do that, and it will see it, it will process it, and it will give you very high quality, beautiful designs to decorate your living place or your space, right? And so computer vision engineers are going to be playing that role of helping the computers to see. All right. So AI for healthcare and specialists. Now this applies AI to improved healthcare delivery and outcomes. So we're going to touch on healthcare a little bit later. Then AI for trainers. So this is the ability to train AI agents to align with human goals and ensure responsible AI development. Now, like what I said in the introduction, a Meta made a purchase. One of the key things is so that the leader, the head of that organization, that company, who trained OpenAI's models, can come train AI, can come train for Meta, right? AI trainers are going to be, because after a while, organizations and businesses are going to need their own product development, AI internal infrastructure, and they will need people to train this AI, right? And so if you can do that, man, you are going to be really relevant in the future. All right. So what does all of this mean? That is the question you should be asking, right? That's the question. What does all of this mean? One, it means big tech is spending massively on AI, so it will only get better, right? If you tracked it from 2024, 2023, when ChatGPT came out and just shocked a lot of people, what we saw then and what we are seeing now is so much. The rate of transformation, the rate of adoption is exponentially increasing, not incrementally, exponentially, right? It only get better. It also means that companies are still learning how to use AI properly. So many companies still do not know how to use it to their advantage very well. And so you can still get ahead. That's the message I want you to get. You can still get ahead. You can still reskill. You can still understand it. You can still become proficient at it. You can still learn it. You can still get ahead. And then you must move where the demand is. You cannot continually claim and stay where you are and say, oh, this is what I know how to do. This is what I've learned all my life. Oh, this is what I just want to do this. I don't want to do something else. No, you have to move where the demand is. It is very critical. That is why I showed you the jobs that are being impacted. Some of them are going away totally. Some of them you would have to merge them. And I also showed you some of where the job is going to be really, really, really helpful. So you must move where the demand is. Next, you see, the World Economic Forum, WEF, predicts a net increase of 97 million new jobs in 2025 due to AI. And that's some good news, right? Because I've been talking about AI since, and it seems like I'm the bearer of bad news. I'm not. All right, I'm not the bearer of bad news. But this is some good news, right? That 97 million new jobs have been created or will be created. Now, these jobs are unfolding, right? And these roles are already taking shape. I want you to think about this. So, like 20 years ago, there was no such thing as digital marketer. Yeah, 20 years ago, this is 2025. In 2005, I mean, there were no digital marketing roles. But right now, in every company, there are digital marketers, there are social media managers, digital ad campaign, media buyers. Before, in many companies, these roles didn't exist, right? There were no real industries for that. Now there are entire agencies, the entire companies, entire industry set up for this purpose. And that is what happens when new technology comes. It creates new jobs, it creates new roles that people did not know before existed. And so if you were somebody that you were selling ads and you were selling newspaper ads before, you will struggle now, because now what you need to be selling when it comes to ad is digital. Newspaper may still be there, but not as much as digital. So it's the same way that it's going to create a lot of new jobs due to AI. All right. So we are going to move into module 2. See you, module 2. Welcome to module 2 of future job market. In this module, we are going to be talking about the skills you need to thrive, right? What are the skills you really need to be positioned powerfully, properly, to be able to take advantage of the changes that are going on right now in the world, that we are going to see go on in coming years at an accelerated pace. What are some of the skills you need to thrive? Now, of course, I've already highlighted several of them in the first module. In the first module, we covered AI agents, a very powerful force that is going to make a lot of roles more powerful and others obsolete, right? So, AI agent, we talked about it in the last module. And then I also discussed with you jobs affected by AI and the kind of jobs that if you are in any of those roles or sectors, you begin to think differently. You begin to plan now. You begin to come up with different strategies. You begin to come up with different things that you can refocus on to make you relevant for this time. We also looked at the jobs created in Module 2, right? What are some of the jobs that you can begin to consider? What are some of the jobs that you can take a look at and position yourself with that aligns with you, aligns with your skill sets, aligns with your strengths, aligns with your values, aligns with the kind of impact you want to make in the world? This is very important. And then we look at what does all of this mean, right? What does all of this mean? And we said, hey, it means that there's opportunity. 97 million jobs to be created in this 2025, and many of them are already being created. We said many companies, they don't even know how to use it well. So you can come in, you can step in, and you can even build some kind of authority in that space. So these are some of the things we talked about in the first model. But in this second model, we are going to be looking at deeply what are the skills. Because I learned many years ago that life is like a ladder. And for you to climb up, it is one hand, then the next, and the next. So when you're climbing a ladder, one hand goes up and then the leg goes with it. Another hand goes up and the leg with it. So on one hand, it is knowledge. On the second hand, it is skills. So while you know the knowledge, you know that all of this is happening, the changes are coming. The key thing for you is that you get to know the skills. You get to have the skills. And what are skills? Skills are the expertise, the ability to produce a result. It means that you have the operations, you have the intelligence, you have the expertise, the ability to produce specific results. And that is what we're going to focus on in this particular module. And so there are three kinds of skills that I'm going to dive deep into that you need to pay attention to. Now, it is expected or recommended that you have these three type of skills. Now, you may be able to get away with two of them, but at least have these three type of skills. All right. So the first we're going to look at are what we call technical skills. All right. Technical skills must have technical skills, right? And among the technical skills, the first one I'll talk about is machine learning and deep learning basics. Now, in the introduction, I said, hey, it's not a must for you to be a machine learning engineer, but it helps a lot to have the basics of machine learning or deep learning, where you are actively in the space of creating these AI models, where you are actively programming these AI algorithms, right? So machine learning and deep learning is absolutely critical, at least the basics. Now, if you have a teenager around you, maybe your children, it helps that they begin to be skilled right now in ML and deep learning, in machine learning and deep learning. It helps that they begin to be skilled right now. In fact, our schools need to incorporate this, that the younger generation begins to learn it because it is going to be a very critical skill, right? Next is cybersecurity and data privacy. Cybersecurity and data privacy. I mentioned it in the last module that one of the key threats to having AI open up all of these opportunities is the level of of would I say scam that can happen, the level of scam, the level of exposure to several threats that can do a lot of damage. So, for example, there is a technology called deepfake. And the way deepfake works is that you can see a video of somebody that is talking saying particular things. The mouth is saying the same thing. The face, it's the video. It looks real, but it's not real. It's fake. It's deep fake. So, for example, you can see the video of the president of the United States of America saying something about a country in Africa, but meanwhile, that video does not exist in real life because the president never said anything like that. But because of deepfake, AI can generate the face of somebody, AI can mimic the voice, and you can make AI also say the scripts. And then you would see somebody saying something that is not true, that never happened. So many people are going to make a lot of wrong decisions. Many people are going to make bad judgments. Many people are going to put money where they're not supposed to put money in. Many people are going to buy securities and stuff that they shouldn't even have any business with because somebody made a recommendation. Meanwhile, the person did not make that recommendation. And so it will require security, right? There are going to be next level hacks because while your face would be able to unlock your phone, for example, AI can mimic your face. There are some people that their twin or their sister or their brother, their sibling can unlock their iPhone. Just the face of their sibling can unlock their iPhone. Not to talk of when AI is able to mimic your face specifically. In fact, I tell people these days that you're going to have a feel safe word or phrase with your family, friends, colleagues. Meaning that we are getting to a time that is not enough for somebody to call you and say, hey, please, can you send X amount of money to my account? Sometimes it's not going to be enough. Right now, with AI, it would be such that when you meet somebody physically or you are talking with somebody physically and you know that you are talking to the person physically, you will have a feel safe word that will say, when you are talking to me and you say, send money to me, I'm going to ask you what's the code word. This is the code word. So that by the time you are talking with somebody, or you can even be doing a video call, but you are doing a video call with AI because that's what is possible actually. And so if someone says, hey, please, can you send this to me or can you sign this thing over? And you ask the person, what's the safe word? And they don't know it. But even that, you have to be creative with that because AI can figure that out. And so there's so much space and value for people who want to build cybersecurity skills, who want to build data privacy skills, because that is what AI deals with: data, a lot of data. So cybersecurity is a very critical skill to develop, very critical industry for the future. Cybersecurity on a global stage, cybersecurity on a national level, cybersecurity on an industry level, and then of course cybersecurity on an organizational level, even on an individual personal level, right? So this is very important, right? Next is cloud computing. Cloud computing. See, if you track back or think back to say 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, almost everything you use in your device, in your laptop, you downloaded, right? You downloaded. Today, everything you use in the cloud. You don't download films, you stream them, right? You stream the songs, you don't necessarily download them. You stream them because a lot of this cost have been removed, right? And before now, you wanted to type something, you wanted to, you know, share a document with somebody, you'd have a Microsoft Word, you would type, you put it in an email, you send it, they will open, they will type, they will edit, they put it in an email, they send it back to you, all those back and forth. Today, you're working on your Google Doc, and you just add the person, and you both are just making adjustments in real time, right? And you can be doing like I do. I'm working on it on my phone, my mobile device, and then I just leave it. I continue working on it on my laptop. You continue in the office. You pick it up in the house, different places, without moving any device around. And I just give this very simple, very basic idea, very, very basic example for you to get it. But a lot of things are going to be cloud. All your social media, your pictures, all of this stuff hangs in the cloud, right? Your your AI, all the interactions, all of this, they hang in the cloud. So cloud computing is very important. And the major players, AWS of Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, these are major players, and there are many innovations that they are bringing out for many organizations. There are many organizations that are leveraging on the innovations of of these big players to turn the direction of their business around. All right. Another one is data analysis essentials. You have to have at least the essentials of data analysis because this entire game of AI is predicated on data. It is data that is being used to train the AI. It is data that the AI agents are being used to work on. And the better the data sets, the better the performance of the AI. So if, for example, I want to train an AI agent or an AI chatbot, and I want to train that AI chatbot to be able to sell, or maybe when people come to the website for you to be able to handle their query, talk about and respond to them accordingly based on their request, based on their complaint. If, for example, I had sales calls of my company, we have been doing sales calls. If, for example, for the past 5 years, and I had the call recordings, the transcript of these sales calls, and I fed it to AI, that AI will be more powerful, will be more intelligent, will be more nuanced, will be more contextual than an AI that you just got a few things here and there, got a few transcripts of a few books of sales and customer care, and you fed it to them. Right? So the power is in data. And so you must be able to understand data. You must be able to analyze it. You must be able to interpret the data to be able to use it for sound business decisions. Right? So data analysis essentials is very important. At least the essentials is very important. All right. So prompt engineering, in other words, getting better results from AI. If you are going to build technical skills, this is one of the key technical skills that you require. Now, if you notice something, I've just been highlighting skill sets that you need, job roles that you need to pay attention to. What I would recommend is that you take each of them. You can just take anyone that catches your attention, or if you have the time, which I suppose you should have the time because your future, quite frankly, is dependent on it, take them and do some individual research on them. In fact, if you don't know how to go about the research, ask AI. Just take each of them, just put it on AI and say, what does this consist about? What is this made of? What kind of skills? We take a job role. What kind of skills do I need to be able to function on this level and at this capacity? Right. So machine learning and deep learning basics, cyber security and data privacy, cloud computing, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, data analysis essentials, prompt engineering, so you can get better results from AI. Now, these are technical skills. These are the first set of skills. I said I'm going to share 3 with you. The second set of skills that you need in this new world of work. Okay, before we go there, I said it already, get the skills. Learn the tools. That's what I want to emphasize. Learn the tools. Don't watch from the sidelines. What that means is, if you are just using Meta AI, for example, stretch yourself. Use ChatGPT. Use Claude. Right? If you're just using ChatGPT, using Claude, stretch yourself. Use Grok. Use Qwen. Use DeepSeek. Try the different things that you would not normally try. Try them. Use them. I do tons of projects these days that would have taken me weeks, and I do them in days. Quite frankly, I do them in hours. Sometimes I did them in minutes. Right? Learn the tools, get the skills. They're very important. Now, the second type of skills that you need, the second category of skills are human skills. Human skills. And why human skills? Because if you take AI agents, for example, and they are working for you, it's almost like you have a very highly placed, very highly intelligent, very contextual, nuanced, specific, niched assistant that can do many powerful things for you. And so how you relate to that assistant is very important. So here are some of the must-have human skills. Crystal clear communication. That is one of the most powerful skills to develop going forward. Not ambiguous communication, not assumed communication, not the communication that has the expert's course. You know what I mean by the expert course? You are speaking in many jargon that only you understand and most people don't. Clearly communicating what you have in mind. And that is one of the key things that form the whole basis of prompting AI, to be able to clearly communicate. And there are different types of prompts, chain of thought prompts, There are different modals that you can use to do that. But it does not start from the prompt. It starts from your ability to communicate, right? Just for example, like I was talking about having a very powerful, specific, niched assistant. If you give your assistant unclear instructions, unclear guidance, they will get you something else. They won't be able to deliver the result, the objective, the outcome that you desire, right? So crystal clear communication is important, right? But crystal clear communication is as a function of something else, something deeper, which is critical thinking, clearer thinking, the ability to think, you know, check and challenge AI results. Now, one of the reasons some people use ChatGPT, for example, and say, "Oh, I use it to give me generic answers. Ah, it's not good. It's not any good," is that you don't challenge it. Oh, I challenge ChatGPT a lot. I challenge all of them. I told them, no, this is bad. I scored this 3/10. I said, why can't you give me this? And I give it some context. And I say, hey, take this from 3/10 to a 9.5/10. And it tries, and I challenge that as well. Right? You must be able to think critically. The fact that AI can bring some things to you, help you do some work, does not mean that you have now abdicated your responsibility of logic and reasoning. Now, in this world, moving forward, the clearer you are in your thinking and your communication, the more powerful you can be able to use the AI tools, the more powerful you can be able to leverage AI platforms, right? So, for example, if you want to create your app, like I talked about, if you want to create an app using or a website using any of these AI tools or like Replit, you want to write code and you want it to do something specific for you, the ability to think clearly, critically about what you want and communicate it very clearly and effectively is going to be a major, major game changer, right? Creativity. This is bringing fresh human ideas, because after a while, and perhaps you have even seen it already, that some people who are writing with AI currently is sounding a little bit like everybody else, even though it is being punchy, it is looking exciting, but it's almost like everybody are writing the same exciting punchy thing and it's all sounding alike. And so it's not just for content creation, that was just an example. But when it comes to how you design, how you develop, how you deploy your projects, right? Bring in fresh human ideas, being creative. Now, knowing, so let me give you an example. I was to create a business document, much like a proposal for a company looking to expand from some other continent into Africa. And they asked me, can you write that document? Can you create that business plan, that proposal? I said, yes, of course, I can create it. What I did was that I went to one of the AI tools and I said, listen, I'm trying to create this. What do I require to be able to create this? The AI to say, you need this, 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 this. I said, great. I said, what kind of question should I ask my client to be able to deliver this project for them? He said, oh, ask them this, 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 this. I said, okay, great. I took the questions that the AI said I should ask them. I sent it to the clients. The clients, they answered it, they sent it back to me. I said, look at the answers they have given me. Based on this, do the research for XYZ, and based on this, write the document. I was just like the middleman. And the AI, what would have taken a month, happened in about 2 hours of my own actual active time. 2 or maybe 3 hours max of my active time. The only time gap was when the client was to give me back the information for me to help them create that. So this is creativity. You ask yourself, in what ways can I do this? Right? In what ways can I do this? Which one should you Google? Which one should you ask AI? How should you use it? How do you solve the problems? So creativity is a very important human skill to have going forward. Emotional intelligence, because you are going to experience that you are leading people differently. It is not the time of when it was factory workers, the assembly line, and everybody were in the factory, they were moving, doing the same thing. No, now people are working with AI systems, people are working with AI agents. And so you need emotional intelligence to be able to lead, to be able to collaborate, to be able to communicate well with your team members, right? With other players in your industry, to be able to get the best out of the tools, out of the platform, out of the tech itself. I hope it's making sense to you. All right. Another skill that you require, adaptability. Adaptability. And I think this is one of the critical ideas. This is one of the crux of the message of this training. And that is, don't just stay where you are. You can move, you're not a tree. Adapt. As the landscape is changing, change also. As things are shifting, shift also. And so when we talk about developing the skill of adaptability, it means being flexible, staying flexible, keep learning, keep upskilling, keep reskilling, keep repositioning, keep moving, so that when things are changing in your job role, when things are changing in your responsibilities, that you don't hold on tightly to the past and say, this is how I've always done it. This is how we've always done it. I'm not going to do anything differently. No. If you do that, you set yourself up for failure. So stay changing, stay flexible, stay adaptable. Adaptability is a very critical skill. And you know what? It's a lot from your mind. You free yourself from the past and say, there is a whole bright future and I'm open to it. Whatever it comes, you change, you switch, and you don't stay with the past. All right. So, what is the takeaway here? Human skills will always win where AI stops. Human skills will always win, right? The main thing here is a combination of these human skills and AI skills, right? And that you use AI to work, for you with humans. And so a good combination of these skills is what is going to make the difference. All right. Now, the third kind of skills are the skills that connect the dots. The skills that connect the dots. There are some skills that on the surface they are not obvious. And you may not even instantly see it until you begin engaging the field, until you begin working with these tools, until you begin working with these platforms. When you begin to engage it, you now begin to see the possibilities in your industry. All right. So, what you need to do is that you need to translate business needs to AI teams. So, very soon, just like many years ago, where there were no digital marketers, there were nothing like that. Those roles didn't exist. Digital marketing departments didn't exist. Now they are in almost every company, in almost every business, digital marketing companies, digital marketing teams, even an entire industry, digital marketing agencies is the same way. Every company will have AI teams, almost like HR, right? Because almost everybody, not almost, because everybody will be using AI in some way, shape, or form. And so when a need comes up in the business, we're not just going to think about it in abstract manner. We are going to translate those needs in the business to the AI teams. The AI is we are going to solve the problems with technology regardless of what the problem is. We are going to pass the problems through tech, through AI, to have the problem solved. AI is going to guide us in solving the problem. And this is very important. This is where we're going, right? So, for example, it means you begin to think about AI plus healthcare, if that's your industry, right? How can we make it better? How can you look at different aspects of the business, different aspect of the company, different aspect of the industry, and you say, how can we use AI to bridge this gap? So AI plus healthcare, AI plus finance, right? AI plus manufacturing, AI plus education, AI plus any business, AI plus retail, AI plus e-commerce, AI plus logistics, AI plus media, AI plus entertainment, AI plus advertising, AI plus consulting, AI plus any industry. The takeaway here is you have to combine your field with AI knowledge to become irreplaceable. Combine your field with AI knowledge to become irreplaceable. So, what that means is that you need to now begin to think ahead. You need to begin to think ahead. You need to begin to think for your industry. You need to begin to say, where is my industry going to? And you know what? You can actually sit with this thought and then begin to have conversations with all the AIs that you have access to. So, I mean, this industry, this is what we do, this is how we do it. Looking at all the current advancement of AI today, June of 2025, as of the time of this recording, looking at all of this advancement of AI, where do you see the future of my industry? What kind of things should I do? How should I position? How should I reskill? How do I combine AI with my industry to create value, to solve problems, to remain relevant, to be irreplaceable? And this very, very, very important. All right. So it's important that you begin to build these skills. The question is, how do you build these skills? Right? How do you build these skills? So here's what I recommend. Here's a very simple plan. Start with basic courses, right? Start with basic courses. You're listening to one. This is an awareness course. There's some courses that help you actually build the skills. You know, Blue Horizon has some great courses. So start with basic courses. Then, as you do that, you then begin to grow with AI projects. Begin to do projects, right? Begin to do projects. Begin to solve problems that you encounter with AI. So when you encounter a problem, you ask, how can we solve it? A problem in your house, a problem in your department at work, a problem, in your organization, a problem in your industry. Begin to solve problems. Begin to do AI projects. Then get certifications. Take from basic courses, take like some very serious courses. And there are several platforms that do that certification, AWS, Microsoft, and all of that. But go deeper, right? Go deeper. Then lead. Then begin to lead cross-team projects. Not just that you are proficient in AI, but you begin to drive actual projects with others to come to real objectives, to come to realize visions using AI. Teach others. Have you heard the phrase that one of the ways to not for if you want to remember something, if you don't want to forget something, teach another person. So begin to teach others. As you begin to teach them, you begin to become more proficient in them. It's almost like you are telling them, but you are telling yourself over and over and over and over again. Teach somebody else. Stay updated. Very important. Because the rate of change is so fast, actually. The rate of change is so fast. And sometimes what you knew about 2 months ago or 3 months ago is not relevant because one tool has replaced the entire thing. All right, stay updated. So here are some takeaway. Learn, apply, repeat. That is it. That is it. Not too much thinking, not too much talking. You learn something, you engage the field, you apply it, you repeat, rinse and repeat. Learn, engage, apply. Learn, engage, apply. Learn, engage, apply. If you do this, you are going to develop a lot faster than somebody who is just learning and doing nothing, or somebody who is not learning at all, but is hoping that AI and the threats will not touch them, will pass them by, right? But if you keep on learning, if you keep on applying, and you keep on repeating the process, you are going to go a lot further. All right. So, next, module 3. You are welcome to module 3 of Future Job Market. In this module, we are going to be looking at industry skills and case studies. We're going to be diving deeper into specific industry skills, domain skills for specific industries. And this is important because in the last module, we took a look at a couple of things. Number one, what are the skills that you need to have? We looked at some general skills, but we looked at three main types or categories of skills. One, the technical skills that you require. We looked at the human skills that you require. Thirdly, we look at the skills that connect the dots. And then finally, how to I give some pointers on how to begin to build these skills. But what we are going to do in this particular module is going to be slightly different. Now, if you pay attention, even if it is not your industry, it will give you an idea on how to connect the dots. Paying attention to what we're going to be discussing in this module, even when I'm describing other industries, it is going to stretch your mind for what is possible. You are going to be able to have a more holistic perspective, a more systemic, a more 30,000 feet view perspective on some of these industries. And you can even export or import one idea or strategy from one industry to another. This is going to be creating more proof, more elasticity for you to be able to create value and to be able to be protected from the downsides of the job losses that we are going to see, and to be able to be on the side of advantage. All right. So that is what we are going to look at in module 3. And so we are going to start with the first industry, and that is healthcare. So we're going to be looking at some specific skills in the healthcare industry, and we're going to be looking at examples. All right. So the healthcare skills and example. Now, what are some of the AI skills in healthcare? One of them is what is referred to as medical imaging analysis. Imaging analysis with AI. And so the idea here is developing AI models to detect diseases like tumors, like fractures, like organ anomalies from X-rays, MRIs, CT scans, and ultrasound images with high precision. In fact, in the past couple of months, I've had situations whereby somebody or a friend gets their report from the doctor, and they look at it, and you know how it is with a lot of industry jargon, very high words, very big medical language, and they send it to me, and I just say, okay. In fact, one of them, my friend, sent it to me, and I said, hold on, let me. She said, I'm going to meet with the doctor tomorrow, and the doctor is going to explain it. I said, oh, really? She said yes. I said, okay, send it to me. She sent it to me. I sent it to AI. AI broke it down and interpreted it, and I said, this is XYZ, what is going to happen, this is what the doctor is going to say. And when the doctor came, that's exactly what the doctor said, because AI now can do that interpretation. But I'm not just talking about your report and your result. I'm talking about actual images, X-rays, MRIs, some things that the eyes may have missed, some things that the CT scans, the human eye may not be able to fully capture. The AI can be able to capture it. So medical imaging analysis with the use of AI is going to be a critical skill. Another one is predictive analytics for patient outcomes. In other words, this is when you are building AI systems that forecast disease progression to see how is this disease, how is it going to evolve, right? How fast is this disease going to spread? So, but these systems will not just forecast disease progression, but hospital readmissions, right? The patient deterioration using electronic health records and clinical data, right? They're going to see how fast is this going to get worse? How can we reverse this? What is the pace going to look like, right? And so it is a lot more accurate. If you remember, when I was talking about job roles and I think skills as well, I said there are a couple of things that AI bring to the table, which is they're going to do a lot more with a lot less error, a lot less human error, and are going to have faster response time. And so that's one of the things. This predictive analytics, it will help to predict that this is likely the rate of spread or the rate of deterioration or the rate of the challenge that you are going that the patient is going to experience. So this predictive analytics is going to predict the patient's outcome. Now, this will be able to give opportunity to be proactive in the kind of solutions, in the kind of recoveries, in the kind of medication, prescription for the patient, because you can predict ahead of time. Oh, this is going to show up. All right, so this is very important. Next, clinical decision support system. Clinical decision support system, right? This is designing AI tools that assist doctors in diagnosis, that assist doctors in treatment planning, in medication, in selection, based on real-time patient data and medical guidelines. Right? Let me read that again. Designing AI tools that assist doctors in diagnosis, treatment planning, and medication selection based on real-time patient data and medical guidelines. So in recent time, in the past 1 year, I've been in a couple of conversations with doctors where maybe one of them is facing a lawsuit or something of some kind of challenge. Maybe they misdiagnosed, or maybe the treatment didn't come as it was supposed to, and so there were complications, and so then the patient or the patient family are filing a lawsuit. Now with this kind of skill set, with this kind of tools, right? The CDSS, there can be better diagnosis, there can be faster, more accurate diagnosis, there can be better treatment planning and medication, that is based on the real-time patient data. And this is very powerful stuff here. Very powerful stuff. Right. The next is AI powered drug discovery and development. AI powered drug discovery and development. AI, one of the things it does is that it's an accelerator, right? And we can see it in so many different areas, in so many different industry. AI accelerates. And so applying AI to accelerate molecule screening can predict drug interaction and optimize clinical trial designs, right? And so if AI accelerates many different things, productivity in many industries, that is one of the things it's going to do, right? When it comes to drug discovery, when it comes to drug development, it is going to accelerate, expedite that process, make it faster, make it better, make it more effective. All right. So these are, if you play in this sector, don't sleep on this. This can be game changers for even developing, solutions, drugs, medications to many challenging health situations. Right. Then natural language processing. Now, this is very important. NLP. This natural language processing is very important and it can be applied even in different areas, not just in healthcare. But this natural language processing for medical records, right? Using AI to extract insights from unstructured clinical notes, from radiology reports and other text heavy healthcare documents, right? Using AI to extract insight from unstructured clinical notes, radiology reports, and other text heavy healthcare documents. Now, I said earlier that a friend sent her the report of her test that she did, and I ran it through an AI tool, and I got insight. I said, "Hey, explain to me the meaning of this in a layman's term. What are the outcomes? What are the possible outcomes? What are the possible solutions? How long is it going to take? What's the pain going to look like?" And AI broke it down. In fact, I used ChatGPT to read the imaging, right? Because it was even a picture. It was two pictures that was sent to me, and ChatGPT broke it down, right? This is natural language processing, and we're going to see it happen. Um, Even though what I did was not anywhere near the high level of what the doctors do, but I mean, when the AI tools are being applied and used in this way, you can see it. It can make the job faster, easier, more accurate. Another is remote patient monitoring and AI-based diagnostics. So this is developing AI systems for wearable devices, and telemedicine platform that continuously analyze patient vitals and flag health risk. Developing AI systems for wearable devices and telemedicine platforms that continuously analyze patient vitals and flag health risk. All of these are very important if you are in the AI, if you're in the healthcare sector, right? So the next, personalized medicine and treatment recommendation. Personalized medicine. And if I had time, I would have shown you a lot more case. I would have shown you more case studies. I have maybe one for each of these industries. I would have shown you a lot more where the AI is making personalized. I mean, it's already in operation, not that it will come later. It's not that it's that we are suspecting. No, it's already in operation where the AI is personalizing the treatment, the recommendation, right? So this is leveraging AI to tailor treatment based on genetic profiles, based on lifestyle, based on individual health history. This is powerful. Remember when I was saying that with AI, we can scale services, we can scale personalized services, customized services. This is one of the ways in which it can happen, right? Next, automated medical coding and billing. At this point, you're using AI to process medical documentation and assign accurate billing codes to reduce errors and streamline revenue cycles, right? This is going to help the healthcare organization, the business itself, right? This is powerful. Now, next, population health management using AI. Here you are applying AI to track, to predict, and manage health trend across populations, supporting public health initiatives and preventive care strategies. And so across population, actually also across generations. So whether you're working with baby boomers, whether you're working with Gen X, whether you're working with millennials, whether you're working with Gen Zs, whether you're working with Gen Alphas, this is applying AI to track, to predict, and to manage these health trends. All right. So, last but not the least, among the AI skills in the healthcare that I'm going to be sharing with you is AI driven virtual health assistant and chatbot. Now, this one is even very more prevalent, is more in use, right? Very, very much in use. And the idea is creating AI powered assistants for symptom checking, for appointment scheduling, for medication reminders, and patient education. So let me break down a little bit of this. So when it comes to, for example, when let's say you have some symptoms and you go to the doctor, maybe before you do some test, before you do some test, the doctor asks, "Are you feeling this pain? Are you feeling this? How is it happening here? How is it happening?" And you are saying, then the doctor even then begin to recommend some tests, possible tests that you can do. Right now, there are AI virtual health assistants that are doing that, right? Checking the symptoms. And then when they figure out what's happening, they schedule an appointment for you. When you have gotten your, let's say you've gotten your medication, they reach out to you at certain times. So, when you get some medication, they say take your drugs 3 times a day, take it at this hour, take it at this hour, take it at this hour, and sometimes you forget or you sleep off. How about the AI remind you and say, have you taken your medication? Maybe you get a call from the AI virtual assistant, you know, and you know what? They can be calling thousands of people at the same time. They can be sending text messages to thousands of people at the same time. Custom, personalized. This is the power of AI in healthcare. Now, let me share with you a a what's it called now? A very important. Let me share with you a very important case study. Now, this case study is by a company called iDoc. So, AI at the front line, how iDoc is saving lives in emergency rooms. In a world where every second counts, Israeli startup iDoc is transforming emergency medicine. Their AI powered imaging system automatically scans CT and X ray images to detect life threatening conditions like strokes, brain bleeds, and pulmonary embolisms, right? It scans it to detect it before it becomes obvious. What makes iDoc's innovation remarkable is its real time alert system. That means as soon as the AI detects a critical issue, it notifies radiologists instantly, helping hospitals prioritize urgent cases and deliver faster care. It's already used across over 1,500 hospitals worldwide. Now, remember, I said that this thing is not something that is going to be, it's going to be coming in the future. It's already here. It's already in use across 1,500 hospitals worldwide, including Mercy Health and Yale New Haven Health. Now, iDoc's technology is improving both diagnostic speed and accuracy. Did you get that? iDoc's technology is improving both diagnostic speed and accuracy. At Mercy Health, the system has significantly reduced the chance of missing critical conditions, a difference that can save lives. I know a country where this particular solution will be very, very helpful. All right, so but this is not futuristic medicine. And I've said that a lot. It's AI working right now, quietly, alongside doctors, reducing image, reducing imaging backlogs and supporting faster, safer patient care. My friend, this is AI in action. This is AI in the healthcare sector. And this is one of many, 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 many case studies that I can present to you. All right. So the next industry we are going to look at is the manufacturing industry. So we want to look at manufacturing skills and examples. The manufacturing industry. All right. So what are some of the AI skills in the manufacturing industry? So one of them is predictive maintenance modeling. Predictive maintenance modeling. This is building AI systems that forecast equipment failures and schedule maintenance before breakdowns, minimizing downtime and repair costs. I want you to think about this. The system forecasts equipment failures before time. It then schedules maintenance before breakdowns. So this is very powerful because this is what a lot of factory, you know, a lot of manufacturing companies try to get their factory workers to do. Of course, they have supervisors, they have managers, they have people who are in charge of these areas. But when humans are involved, some kind of errors are bound to happen. But when you have an AI tool or AI system per se, preferably, when you have an AI system that can forecast that at the rate of use of this equipment in the next 3.5 weeks, there may be a downtime unless we service it at a particular time, you know, and schedules that maintenance time, you are going to be able to avoid a lot of downtime. You are going to reduce wear and tear, right? You are going to reduce repair cost. And that is why this is very, very powerful. Now, another one is called quality control and defect detection with computer vision. Quality control and defect detection with computer vision. So here you are developing AI-powered visual inspection systems to automatically detect defects, to automatically detect defects, to detect anomalies and substandard products in real time on production lines. And if you have experience in manufacturing, or if you have been to one, you see that sometimes the products they are manufacturing thousands of different products, within the same period of time. And so there are possibilities that there are defects. There are possibilities that there are, some substandard products, right? So what this does is to detect it ahead of time, right? To automatically detect it when it shows up. All right. The next is demand forecasting and inventory optimization. You are applying AI to accurately predict product demand and optimize inventory levels to reduce overstocking, to reduce understocking, to reduce storage cost. Now, this is also a skill or a system that is very much needed in the e-commerce sector, very much needed in the retail sector, right? So next is AI-driven process optimization and control. Here we are designing AI systems that continuously analyze production parameters to optimize speed, energy consumption, material usage, and output quality. If you have been in the manufacturing space, you know that these are big deals. This either makes them a lot of money or erodes their cost. One mistake and a lot of margins are wiped out here, right? So it's very important that they optimize how much are we going to press this at what pace, to ensure we're using the right amount of energy, going at the right level of speed, and that we don't waste our materials, and the quality, the output is of a high quality. All right. Next, supply chain risk management using AI. Here we are leveraging AI to anticipate supply chain disruption, to optimize logistics, to improve procurement decision based on real-time data and historical patterns. Right? Next is production scheduling and workflow automation. Production scheduling and workflow automation. Here you are using AI to create dynamic production schedules. You are allocating resources efficiently and you're automatically adjusting workflows to change manufacturing conditions. All right. So next, let me give you a few more. Energy management and optimization with AI. Every manufacturing plant, every production or factory, one of the key things there is energy. Is how are you able to manage energy? How is energy consumption going? So with this skill here, you are applying AI to monitor and minimize energy consumption across factory and production plants, driving sustainability and cost reduction. And the goal of it is that when you do this effectively, the output is still very high, the quality is still very high, but you drive your costs low, you drive your risk low as well. All right. So next, robotics and intelligent automation integration. See, whether we really like it or not, a large portion of the future of manufacturing is robotics, right? Robotics are already doing it in many factories and many plants across the world. And just like technology, it gets cheaper. Meanwhile, the output increases in quality. Very soon, most production facilities, most companies would be able to afford robots a lot more easily, right? So here, robotics and intelligent automation integration is really about developing AI algorithms to enhance robotic precision, flexibility, and collaboration in assembly lines, packaging, and material handling. All right. So next is product design and prototyping with generative AI. Product design and prototyping with generative AI. So using AI-driven generative design tools to create innovative product designs that meet specific engineering and manufacturing constraints. And so before now, where you'd have, um, when you have to do it even manually, you have to create the design, you have to maybe draw it out, sketch it out, do the calculation, do the technical drawing of it. Excuse me, do the technical drawing of it with product design and prototyping with generative AI. That's the key. That's the key there. Generative AI is able to come up with a lot of these designs with very high level of accuracy. It comes up with accuracy, the dimension are solid, and the design beautiful, right? I mean, like the aesthetics of the design beautiful, right? So one more here before we move to another. AI-based safety monitoring and hazard detection. Here is implementing AI systems that analyze video feeds and sensor data to identify safety risks, ensure compliance, and prevent workplace accidents. This is one of the major things or major concerns when it comes to running a factory or a production plant is the hazard, is the risk, is the accident. And so this AI-based safety monitoring and hazard detection helps to analyze the video feed, helps to see and know and track and see that this is where there is potential for this kind of accident and help to prevent those kind of workplace accident. All right, so let's look at a case study, right, from the manufacturing sector. So we're going to use Siemens, a popular company. So this is inside Siemens Smart Factory, AI that never sleeps. At Siemens, Amberg factory in Germany, artificial intelligence is not just an add-on, it's the heartbeat of the operation. Siemens has built a fully digitized, AI-powered smart factory that quietly produces over 17 million product units. 17 million product units per year with astonishing precision. By embedding AI-driven quality control and predictive maintenance directly into the production line, Siemens has cut equipment downtime by 70%. I want you to get that. Siemens has cut equipment downtime by 70%. Remember, we talked about it in the last slide. And reduced product quality errors by 50%. They've reduced product quality errors by 50%. Their AI inspection systems now catch defects in real time, while the factory's digital twin, a virtual replica, lets engineers test and optimize processes before they touch the physical floor. This is powerful. This is what I was talking about, the generative AI, right? That you can create the designs without doing the whole physical part first, without drawing, without the technical building of the physical part. So what are the results? The results are a 14 times productivity increase since 1990. Powerful. A 14 times productivity increase. A first pass yield up by 15%. And an almost unbelievable 99.9999% defect-free rate. Wow. All while producing 1,200 product variations daily. 1,200 different products or 1,200 product variations every day. So this is not a factory of the future. It's a factory of today where AI works relentlessly to drive speed, accuracy, and efficiency, all without expanding the workforce or factory size. Now look at this. All without expanding the workforce or factory size, that 14 times more productive, right? The defects 99, almost 100% defect free, doing a lot more. They've cut down their equipment downtime by 70%, product quality, errors have reduced by 50%, and they have not gotten more people. They've not expanded the size of the factory, but they've just applied AI. This stuff is powerful. And you know what? As it gets better, they will realize we don't need some of these people here. That's what they're going to realize. We don't need some of these people. And that's why some roles are endangered. All right, so let's look at a different industry. Let's look at finance. Let's look at the financial industry. All right, so here are a few quick AI skills from the financial industry. Credit risk modeling with AI. So here you are building AI models to assess borrower credit worthiness using non-traditional and traditional financial data. Now, this is very powerful. How do you verify that somebody is credit worthy? And so here you have use AI to build a model. You are using AI to assess the credit worthiness of a borrower or a potential borrower using non-traditional and also traditional financial data, right? The AI brings a lot of data, assesses a lot of data, and analyzes those data, and then interprets the data and makes recommendations, right? So this is very, very, very powerful. Next is algorithmic trading strategies. Algorithmic trading strategies. Here you are developing AI powered trading bots that leverage high frequency data, market signals, and complex decision making models. So a lot of the people who are trading and they are making a lot of bets based on emotions or what they read in the news. Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the best, some of the biggest, some of the highest ROI, traders, hedge fund managers, they have very sophisticated trading strategy. Maybe not Warren Buffett, but the rest of them, I mean, the top 10, they have some very wonderful, sophisticated algorithm for trading, right? And so this is only going to become more important as we go forward, right? Next is fraud detection and prevention algorithms. So this is designing real-time anomaly detection systems for financial transaction and account activities. So when something is happening and money is moving in a very funny way, so that you can be able to detect in real time that something is happening. There's some activity around this. There's some movement around this that is not, that is unusual, right? The next is reg tech and AI driven compliance monitoring. RegTech and AI-driven compliance monitoring. Here, you're using AI to track regulatory changes. You're using AI to monitor transactions and automate compliance reporting to avoid penalties. This is very important. Next is asset and portfolio optimization using AI. Now, these are different skills. Now, pay attention. These are different skills. And if you look at it, some of them can be exported to other industries, or maybe to your own industry if this is not one of them, right? So here, employing AI to dynamically adjust assets allocation based on market shift, risk appetite, and investor goals. I'll say that again. Here, you are employing AI to dynamically adjust asset allocation based on market shift, risk appetite, and investor goals. So when an investor has, you know, a portfolio that is made up with different investment assets, and how do they make that decision to move between stocks to bond to real estate to, you know, investment in some private company or some public security? This is one of the key things that is going to do. AI is going to make that decision a lot easier, right? So next is customer behavior and personalization analytics. Here you are leveraging AI to analyze customer financial behavior for personalized product offerings. You are cross-selling and retaining customers, right? So here you are cross-selling, you are retaining customers, leveraging AI. You are analyzing their financial behavior, their financial history. You are seeing the patterns, and you are using it to tailor to them specialized products that is going to get them to, to do business, right? Next is underwriting automation in insurance and lending. Here you are using AI models to streamline underwriting processes. You are making faster, data-driven lending or insurance decisions, where it does not have to be a lot of investigation over a longer period of time. But you are using all of this to come to a conclusion a lot faster. Okay. Next is, or the last that I'm going to present in under this finance industry, financial forecasting and time series modeling. Right here, you are applying AI to predict stock prices, to predict interest rates, exchange rates, and other financial market movements using time-sensitive data. Using time-sensitive data, right? People have tried to guess this in the past. Um, some people have also been very smart and very brilliant to understand the market movement. Now, AI has the capacity to read the market movement and then to predict stock prices, the interest rates, the exchange rate, and how the market moves, right? So this is very, very powerful. So let me share with you one case study. All right, so this is Barclays. Barclays uses AI to stay one step ahead of fraudsters. So this bank, let's dig in. In the fast-paced world of banking, fraud can happen in seconds. That's why Barclays has turned to artificial intelligence to protect its customers in real time. So by deploying machine learning systems that monitor live financial transactions, Barclays can instantly spot unusual patterns, suspicious locations, and odd spending behavior. When something looks off, the system automatically flags the transaction for rapid human review, which saves precious time. All right. So since launching the AI powered system, Barclays has cut fraud investigation time by 60% and significantly reduced false alarms, allowing fraud teams to focus on real threats, right? The bank's AI solution now screens millions of transactions daily without missing a beat. Remember what I said? AI is going to be able to scale personalized services, helping Barclays meet tough anti-money laundering and know your customers regulation, all while keeping customers' trust intact. It's smart, it is swift, and exactly what modern banking demands. This is AI in action, right? So these are different countries. I've shown you the United States, I've shown you Germany, this is the UK. All right. So we go to the next industry, education. And this is very important. This is very important because in the education industry alone, there has been a shift in how people consume education and taking and learn. One of them is how what you are doing right now. It's not just limited to the universities or the four walls of academia, right? So, but what are the skills required today? What are the skills? One is adaptive learning system designs. This is building AI models that personalize learning paths, that adjust content difficulty, and recommend resources based on individual student performance and learning styles. It is very powerful, right? It can personalize the learning path of the student. It can look at and say, this is where they're finding it difficult. It can recommend resources based on that individual student's performance and based on the student's learning style. This is going to be a game changer as opposed to how we learned growing up, where everyone is put in the same class and the same curriculum to everyone at the same pace, which is not just reasonable because people have different levels of intelligence, people have different contexts, people have different learning styles, people have different learning pace, right? So, but adaptive learning system design is going to be a game changer. So, if you're in the education space, watch out for it. If you want to get into the education space, watch out for it, right? Next, automated assessment and grading algorithms. Here is developing AI tools that can grade assignments, quizzes, and even open-ended responses like essay with high accuracy and fairness. So it's not the time when the professor or the teacher has a lot of assignments or tests or exam papers to grade, right? AI can step in with that, right? Next is student performance prediction models. Here you're using AI to forecast student outcomes, to identify at-risk learners early and trigger timely interventions, which is very powerful because what we have seen over time is that the student just enters and is just working with the crowd and they don't do well. And at the end of the semester, we're trying to say, okay, how can we remedy what just happened? Did they have to repeat that class again? But this is a prediction model that helps the students' performance before they get into all of these challenges. And when something show up, there's a trigger so that interventions can come in on time, right? The next is natural language processing. Remember, I mentioned it in the last one or the last two. The NLP, natural language processing, is an important skill to learn in artificial intelligence. But this one is for educational content. So here, applying NLP to create intelligent tutoring systems, summarize educational materials, automate feedback, and develop language learning tools. All right. The next is AI driven curriculum personalization. AI driven curriculum personalization. Here is leveraging AI to customize curriculum structures, learning modules, and competency mappings or different students cohort or individual learners. So, what I mean is that in the next few years, and it may not even be years, it may be months, that the way you will learn this course will be different than you are learning it now. The way you're going to go through this training will be different than how you're going through it now, because you are going to be connected with AI, and AI will be able to detect the kind of structure that best suits you, how to tailor the entire curriculum to you. And we'll also notice when you are getting bored, when you are dozing off, when it's too dense, when it's too technical, and adjust accordingly. This is going to be one of those game changers. The next is intelligent tutoring systems. Intelligent tutoring systems. So this is designing AI-powered virtual tutors that provide real-time guidance, support, and feedback to students, stimulating human-like instruction. AI-powered virtual tutors. Virtual tutors. And these virtual tutors are able to know, oh, the person learning is going at X pace instead of Y pace. And so we have to change or adjust the kind of the material, the structure, the modules, the model. We have to change the support. We have to, they're able to decipher with real-time data and process this, a lot more accurately. Next is learning analytics for student engagement. Learning analytics for student engagement monitoring. So here, using AI to track behavioral data like clicks, participation, logins to assess student engagement and optimize teaching strategies. And already I know some companies, I think BT Light also, some companies are already doing this to be able to track when you are dozing off, when you are not paying attention, right? And this is going to be really, really powerful, especially for online learning, for digital learning, right? To gauge the engagement, because there are quite a lot of courses and programs that people take these days, and they're just sleeping, right? They are not paying attention. It's on there, but they're not answering. They're doing something else, right? But this AI is going to be able to monitor student engagement. Right. The next is chatbot and virtual academic assistants. So creating AI-powered bots that assist students with administrative tasks, learning queries, assignment deadlines, and personalized academic support. You see, with all of this that is happening and coming up, soon the way the students will be graded will not just be on recall. It's not just going to be exam and you don't we just give you the exam to just put your head down and do it. No, we are going to be graded a lot differently. The university of the future is going to be a lot different, because AI is going to come to make you're not necessarily going to be tested for recall per se, because recall is going to be at your beck and call, at your fingertips. But whether you understand the concept, you are going to be tested for logic, for reasoning, for assimilation, right? And for application. And so this is going to be very important. It's going to be very powerful, because very soon, and I promise you, very soon, all of us will have a personal assistant chatbot that is more customized to us than the maybe generic chat GPT that you're using at the moment. All right. Next is AI enhanced content creation. Here we are employing AI to generate quizzes, flashcards, summaries, and other learning materials automatically from educational content. In other words, making it more exciting, making it digestible in bits, right? Even gamifying it. All right. So employing AI to generate all of this to make the educational content more interesting to consume. The last skill I'm going to present to you in the education industry is bias detection and content moderation in educational AI tools. And so here it is applying AI to ensure fairness, inclusivity, and diversity in learning platforms, and to prevent the propagation of biased or harmful content. Very, very important in today's world. All right. So let me share with you one case study. And then we move to the last but not the least industry we're going to be looking at. So this is Jill Watson. Jill Watson is an AI teaching assistant changing the online space, right? So at the Georgia Institute of Technology, one of the busiest teaching assistants is not human. One of the busiest teaching assistants is Jill Watson, an AI powered virtual assistant designed to support large online computer science classes. It's designed to support large online computer science classes. It was built using natural language processing. You've heard me say it a couple of times, NLP. So this is one skill, one tool, one model, whatever you want to call it, that you have to pay attention to. Google it, ChatGPT it, YouTube it, Meta AI it, natural language processing, right? Jill Watson was trained to handle the flood of student questions that typically overwhelm instructors in massive online courses. So, from assignment deadlines to grading policies, Jill tackled routine queries with speed and precision, saving over 500 hours of instructor time. That's massive. And cutting average response times by 60%. That's massive. But Jill didn't just answer questions, she improved the student experience. Georgia Technology saw higher engagement, faster feedback loops, and an increase in course completion rate. So, unlike ordinary chatbots, Jill was fully connected to the course content, making her answers accurate, relevant, and other indistinguishable from those of a human assistant. And this is really powerful because this is where we are going to. That very soon you'll not be able to, to differentiate between whether you are talking to a human being or whether you're talking to an AI bot or agent. All right. So, in a world where online education is rapidly expanding, Jill Watson shows how AI can scale support, personalize learning, and help instructors focus on what really matters, which is teaching. This is another example of AI in action. All right, so let's go to the last major case study. Not just case study, last major industry that I'm going to look at before mentioning others very briefly. All right, retail and e-commerce is the industry we want to take a look at some of the skill set. All right, so what are some of the AI skills in retail and e-commerce? One of them, personalized product recommendation systems. And you may have already begun to see this when you use companies like Amazon, right? So here is building AI engines that analyze browsing history, purchase behavior, and customer profile to deliver highly targeted product suggestions. And in fact, I presume you have already experienced this, that you may be having a conversation with somebody about something, about a product, maybe even glasses. And then when you go online, maybe on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or something, you are just seeing ad for glasses from nowhere. Yes, it is this personalized product recommendation systems. They have ears and they can hear you, right? That's why I said it's here already, right? It's here already. Next, dynamic pricing and AI powered price optimization. Here is developing AI models that automatically adjust product prices in real time based on demand, competition, inventory level, and customer segment. Meaning, if there are a few products and there are many people, that their system can decide to say, "Hey, let's increase the price. There are just few. We just have 5 left, and we have 150 people that want to buy it. Why should we lose money? And let us make it that the most determined 5 people." Am I saying it's the right thing to do? I'm saying that AI can help you do that, right? AI can help adjust prices in different places, in different cities. So let me give you an example. For example, now this is not particularly AI. It's not particularly dynamic pricing that's AI powered. But if you look at a ChatGPT Plus is $20 per month, right? Right now, June 2025, a ChatGPT Plus is $20. If you look at that same ChatGPT Plus with an Android phone, it is 16,900 thereabout. 16,900 is just about $10, right? Or $11 thereabout. So it's not up to $20. If you look at that same ChatGPT Plus from an iPhone in Nigeria. Sorry. So the first one, if you look at the ChatGPT Plus from an Android phone in Nigeria is about 16.9 thereabouts. If you look at the ChatGPT Plus from an iPhone in Nigeria, it's about 9,999. So it's less than $10, right? This is dynamic pricing. They're looking at different markets, different devices, looking at the the customer segments, looking at the demographics, and the prices are being dynamic. And you can see like that different for different countries, different locations. But if you come with your desktop normally and you just go online, you see for 20 bucks, right? Dynamic pricing, AI powered. So customer segmentation and lifetime value prediction. Here is using AI to group customers by behavior preferences, by preferences, and value potential to enable precise marketing, upselling, and retention strategies. So you are using AI to increase the lifetime value of the customers, to see how to keep them for a longer time, to see how to get them to buy more stuff, to see how to get them to buy more frequently. Meaning, if they were buying twice in a month, how can we make them buy 3 times now? Right? So this is one of the skills. Next, inventory forecasting and demand planning with AI. Here you are applying AI to predict inventory needs across locations, seasons, and trends to minimize stock out and overstock scenarios. Right? You are applying AI to predict inventory needs. So what are the inventories that we're going to need to restock, right? And in what season and in which locations, right? To minimize overstocking, to minimize understocking. Next is AI powered visual search and product discovery. Here you are designing systems that allow customers to search for product using images, improving product discovery and customers engagement, right? So another one is chatbots and virtual shopping assistants. So by now you know that one of the core ways and uses of our use cases of AI is virtual assistants, right? Which is similar in some way to the AI agent. So but AI agent and chatbot are not the same thing because AI agent has more capacity, more functionality, more flexibility, right? So but this is about creating AI driven customer service bots that can handle product inquiries, that can track your order, that can track your returns, and personalize the shopping support. All right. So next is fraud detection and transaction risk scoring. Here you are building AI systems to identify fraudulent purchases, payment anomalies, and suspicious account activities in real time. In real time. So anything that looks unusual, right? Payment anomalies, suspicious account activities, the fraud detection and transaction risk scoring identifies it. All right. And something is done to tackle it. Then supply chain and logistics optimization using AI. Here you are leveraging AI to optimize order fulfillment routes, to optimize delivery times and warehouse management for faster and more cost-effective logistics, right? Next is sentiment analysis and customer feedback mining. Sentiment analysis and customer feedback mining. Here you are using NLP to analyze customer review, to analyze social media mentions and feedback to improve your product and to improve your services. So last but not the least, that I'm going to share with us among this skill set is the hyper personalized marketing campaign. And you may already see this. Here you are employing AI to create individualized email to you, SMS and ad campaigns based on your behavior, based on customer behavior, based on preferences, based on predicted needs. Right. So this is we had a taste of this for years, with Meta ads, with Google ads, and the rest of them. But now it's even going to become a lot more personalized. It's going to become a lot more personalized. Like it's almost like when you think of it, it just shows up at the price that or close to the price that you were thinking about, or that you are having a conversation with somebody. It is going to be really, really powerful, and this is going to change a lot of the game. So here is a case study of how AI helped a US retail giant master dynamic pricing. So in the fiercely competitive world of retail, getting pricing right can make or break a business. One major US department store chain operating over 1,000 locations decided to hand this challenge over to artificial intelligence, right? So by partnering with pricing platform Competera, the retailer swapped out its outdated static pricing system for an AI-driven dynamic pricing model. Which means you can go there this morning and it's a different price from in the afternoon and different price from a different location. Now, the system now automatically adjusts product prices in real time, factoring in customer demand, factoring in market competition, factoring in inventory levels, and promotional cycles. The results were game changing. Online revenue surged by 40% with AI. It's AI that's making this decision and I'm making more money. Units sold jumped by 59%. Profit margins grew by 25%. Customer re-engagement soared by 50%. Now, this wasn't just another tech upgrade, it was a smart, deep integration of AI into the company's core operations, allowing pricing to shift proactively, not reactively. So, in today's fast moving retail environment, this case shows how AI can become the difference between standing still and pulling ahead. So, this is just another example of AI in actions. All right, so I want to show you some more sectors to watch out for. And I'm just listing these sectors to encourage you to be able to dig deeper and look into your own industry, to look into your sector and your organization and find some inspiration to integrate AI and figure out where and how can you use AI to take what you are doing to the next phase. Now, we already talked about this, but retail. So Walmart and Target, which are big chains, retail chains in the US, are using AI to cut inventory waste to the tune of $1.5 billion. Now, this is something significant that a tool is used or is a system, an AI system is saving. Can you imagine this waste saving 1.5 billion US dollars? Right. Another is logistics. So Amazon DHL cutting delivery costs by 30% with AI. Pardon me. Amazon DHL cutting delivery costs by 30% with AI. And if you remember, even in manufacturing case study that I shared with you, or the skills in manufacturing, one of the key things there is logistics. One of the key things in a lot of the things that is happening, because we're in a world of convenience, logistics has become very paramount. And so AI works to make that even a lot better. Another sector to watch out for is energy. Energy. And so AI is improving power grid efficiency. So that is another very valuable sector. The next is agriculture. AI increasing farm yields by 40%. That's significant. While simultaneously cutting costs by 50%. That's also significant, right? So AI is here to really change the game in many industries. And then the last sector, but not the least, is hospitality. I already mentioned it, where you have a point where robots are cleaning, and serving customers. And we already have it happening, where robots cleaning hotels and serving customers, right? And the rate of adoption and rate of change of technology, that with time, technology they get more powerful, but they also get cheaper. And so very soon, most organizations, most people, even in most homes, they're going to be able to afford robots in their house to do some of the chores. And these robots are going to be powered by AI. So cleaning your house, washing your utensils, and just doing a lot of things. Ironing. I don't know if you've seen a video of AI of a robot ironing. And so these are going to be powered by AI. And so all of these sectors that I've shared, the- these are not exhaustive at all, right? You can think about your own sector, look at your own industry, and ask yourself the important question of, how do I leverage AI in my industry? And you know what? You can take this conversation to AI, take this conversation to ChatGPT and say, I am in this industry. How do I leverage AI in this industry? What is the future of this industry going to look like with the impact of AI? What kind of skills should I develop in this my industry to future proof me from being irrelevant, right? So what kind of skills, what kind of positioning should I develop? What kind of positioning should I have? And when you look at this, it is going to be very, very useful, very valuable and advantageous for you and your organization. All right, so right now we are going to move to module 4. Welcome to Module 4, the last and final module of this video training. And in this module, we are going to be talking about how to prepare yourself. We've talked about the future of the job market. We've talked about the skills that you require. We've looked at some industry case studies. We've looked at some industry skills, domain specific skills. And right now, we are asking the singular question of how do I prepare myself? How do I even get into this? How do I start? And what is the role of my organization or the company or the academia? And we want to just take a quick look at that while we bring this video training to a conclusion. All right, so here is your skill building plan, and I alluded to this in module 2, right? So here's your skill building plan. One is take basic AI courses, right? Try AI tools. So from now to the next 3 months, take basic AI courses. Don't just be how you've been after you've heard all I've said and after you spent the past 2 hours plus, going through this video training. Take basic AI courses, try AI tools from this moment. If you don't do something within the next 48 hours, chances are you will do nothing, right? So, um, download more apps. Download Quen if you don't have it. Download DeepSeek if you don't have it. Download Claude if you don't have it. ChatGPT, God forbid that you don't have it, you got to download it, right? Meta AI, Grok, they're there. Abacus AI, VEO3, a lot of them. Engage, take those, try those tools, take those courses, and then between the next 3 to 12 months, get certified, right? Build real projects, attempt to use AI to solve some problems, to execute on some projects, right? Between the next 90 days to 365 days. And so your long-term plan, 1 to 3 years, lead AI teams, mentor others, focus on ethics, focus on it being so powerful. Now, I wouldn't worry so much about the 1 or 3 years, apart from the leading AI teams, whereby you need to really direct your organization and your team in the focus of going towards AI, because the changes are going so much and so rapidly that you just have to stay updated, right? And so you may plan for something 2 years out. However, you may get that it has totally changed, and even the role that you had that you were banking on is no longer relevant, right? So just get to work, use it on a daily basis. Spend 1 hour minimum. Before we used to say spend 30 minutes, but hey, this should be part of your life. You should talk with it. Okay, maybe a minimum of 30 minutes. But on some days I spend 10 hours on AI on a particular day, on a singular day. Right. And I know I'm not alone. I know people who spend 4 hours, 5 hours daily. Right. So this is important. So, but a few things I want to just touch on before we wrap up this particular training. And what is the role of academia in closing this skills gap, right? If, for example, you are part of the academic institution or you are considering, you know, taking this forward, what is the role of academia? One is that there are several universities that are already moving fast. Several universities all around the world are already, having courses, already incentivizing and teaching, training, equipping, creating awareness for these AI courses, AI skills, right? It's important that other universities need to join the train because it is changing so rapidly. The way people are learning, the way people are working, the way people are creating value, it is rapidly changing, right? So other universities that are not yet on the train, you to need to join the train, right? So there are new AI, data, and cybersecurity programs that are launched and that are launching, in different universities, in different schools, high schools, secondary schools, you know. And so if you are in the role of academia, it's important launch programs on AI, on data science, data analysis, cybersecurity. All of these are very critical. Then short, flexible learning options should be really greatly considered. You're watching one of them. So these are micro courses, right? Micro courses. It doesn't have to be 12 months. It doesn't have to be 3 or 5 years, right? These are micro courses, certifications, online tracks, right? That there can be shorter timelines, 1 day, 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months, right? These are very important. Then it's important that schools now have to work with companies to design relevant job ready programs, because a lot of the things that the schools may be teaching are not going to be very relevant in the future, even in the current present, right? It's not going to be very relevant. So it's important now that the schools begin to work with companies to design relevant job ready programs, right? So the future of education is practical. That's something that I need to say. It is practical, it is fast, and it is focused. I say that again. The future of education is practical, it is fast, and it is focused, right? And not just the academia, but what is the role of corporate training in building an AI ready workforce in your organization, in your company? What is the role of corporate training? Right? One is that companies can't wait for schools because it may take a while, especially the bigger the schools, the more they are going to move like dinosaurs, very slowly. Right? So that means that the organization must be willing to train from within. Meaning you have to start your own AI trainings, start your own AI awareness, right? So companies can't wait for schools. They must train from within, right? And smart companies are building in-house AI academies. So several companies that have AI, that have academies, that have training institutes within the companies, especially the larger they are, the more they have a training arm, right? But not just a training arm, but an AI academy, which is focused on updating the company, the employees, the team members, the staff on the tools, on the platforms, on the skill sets, on the mindsets to take advantage of AI because it is now a critical engagement factor. And the training has a model. Now, this model is by McKinsey. So this model is 70% on the job project. So one of the ways that the staff, your team members are going to learn, one of the ways you are going to learn is that you are working on particular projects and you are using AI to solve the problems and the challenges you are facing on that project, and not just learning it in limbo, right? But 70% on the job project, then another 20% team learning from interacting with other people using AI, from interacting with your colleagues that are using AI to solve similar or different problems, and you are seeing how they integrate it. Then 10% from formal courses, from something like this. You cannot just watch only this kind of course forever. You've got to get into the trenches, you've got to work, apply the knowledge to real world, real life situations, right? Apply it to projects you're working on, apply it to problems in real time, right? This is the formula: 70% on the job project, 20% team learning, 10% formal courses. This is the McKinsey formula, and it is great. So the first learning, you start with leaders. If you're at your organization, you want to train, so you train from top down, right? So you start with leaders, people who make some of the most strategic decisions, so that they understand it and they can integrate it and they can begin to free themselves up, right? Then from leaders, you train teams, particular teams that contribute specifically to special projects and special departments, special units, right? From starting with leaders, you train teams, then you build company-wide fluency. Then this is when you train the entire company. You create an AI culture within the entire company, within the entire organization, right? So this is important that you don't just do it haphazardly, right? And if you do it from the bottom, from the top down, you see that there's going to be a flow, a more easy flow, and so that the leaders understand this is why we are doing it, this is what we are doing, right? And they can even now more better guide the other team members who are not in that leadership capacity, for them to see why they need to embrace this, right? So it's important that I say this: companies that learn fast will lead fast. Companies that learn fast will lead fast. So these days, it's not just about big companies and small companies. No, it is about fast companies and smart companies. And so this is critical, right? So in all of these things, a few things are very important: ethics and responsibility. So when we are building AI in our organizations, in our institutions, in our businesses, in our personal life, in our work and career, so there are some ethics and there are responsibilities that we must shoulder. So some of the must have is transparency. So tell people how AI is used, right? So it helps that when, for example, a chatbot responds to somebody, say, hey, you're chatting with an AI, right? But make it so cool, make it so fluent that you don't mind, right? And very soon, people are going to pretty much get used to that, right? Another is fairness. So watch for bias so that people are not edged out unduly, right? Watch for bias. Ensure that there is fairness in the distribution. Ensure that there is fairness in engagement, right? The next is privacy. People's data need to be protected, right? The more you use AI, the more you are going to accumulate people's data. When people engage with your AI in in the external environment, their data needs to be protected. When internally you engage with AI, your staff, your your team members, your leaders, when they engage with AI, right? All of these are data that is being transmitted, and this data sometimes is your intellectual property. They are your frameworks, they are your processes. These are data that need to be protected, right? So, and then human control. As much as possible, let humans make final decisions. And every autonomy that the AI chatbot or AI agent has, let it be that it is based on the parameters set by humans and that they must be following it. So, human control is very important. All right. So, the takeaway is AI must always be human first. AI is here to serve us. AI is not here to be great and wonderful and sharp and remarkable. No. AI is here to serve humanity, is here to help us get to our dreams and our objectives. All right, this is very important. Right. So, what are some resources to keep growing with Blue Horizon? Because Blue Horizon offers different courses and different trainings that you can leverage to strengthen your position in the job market, to strengthen your position in the marketplace. Looking at the changes that I've talked about so much during this training, right? So it's important that you keep learning, that you keep growing, that you take some training, right? So you can start with Blue Horizons core tracks. So whether it's data analysis, essentials, whether it's AI foundation, whether it's prompt engineering for everyday work, or cybersecurity basics for modern professionals. All these are different core tracks in Blue Horizon that you can look at studying, and you find them very valuable because I'm pretty sure you enjoy this one. So you're going to find other ones very valuable. And not just that, it's important that you deepen your skills inside of Blue Horizon. So the advanced courses, right? Advanced data analytics, applied AI projects, cybersecurity for business leaders, real world prompt engineering labs, skills, the advanced. After you do the basics, don't just stay there. Remember, it's upskilling, you are changing it. The landscape is being transformed very rapidly, consistently. So keep increasing. And then there are optional ways that you can also grow, right? So there are podcasts, hard fork, for example, the AI breakdown, for example. There are many of them. And I can't even begin to list now. But there are newsletters as well. Stratry is one of them. The Rundown AI is one of them. The Bionic Business is one of them. So there are many newsletters that you can take a look at. And not just that, Blue Horizon learning events, live workshop, expert Q&A sessions, community case studies. So keep your ears to the ground. Watch out for the emails. Watch out for the announcement for whenever there is an expert Q&A, whether there is a live workshop, where there's a new release of a program or a course. All of these are going to be really valuable to help you continually upskill, to help you continually reskill, and to properly position. Now, in wrapping up, I've said a lot of things today and I hope that it makes some sense to you. I want you to consider this your wake up call. The world is changing and people may not realize that the world is changing, right? So, like I've said, and I've reiterated it so much during this training, AI is not coming, right? AI will not come sometime in the future. We said that in 2019. AI is here already. AI is here already. The earlier you accept that fact, that reality, and adjust based on that reality, the better for you, the better for your career, the better for your business, the better for your organization. Heck, the better for your entire industry, right? So AI is here and you cannot ignore it. It's not something you are going to outrun. It's not something you are going to wish it away. You're not going to say it's going to pass by. It's not going to affect me. It is going to affect you if you do not do anything. Like people say, AI is not going to take your job. The person doing AI and knows how to use AI is likely going to take your job. So you cannot outrun it. It's in very important. So you must adapt. You must upskill. You must reskill. You must reposition yourself. Now, work with AI, build with AI, work with it daily, spend some time with the tools, build with it, win with AI, because that's what is required in today's work world, today, the new world of work. AI is a critical factor, just like the internet, just like mobile devices, just like the App Store, the Play Store, just like all of these tech companies, AI, just like social media. AI is a powerful tech that all of this, the power that all of this past technology I just mentioned, they don't even have that compared to how AI is changing our lives and how it's going to change it even more. All right. Don't be afraid of it. Collaborate with it, work with it, make it your thinking partner, make it your assistant, make it your advisor, make it your strategist, make it your worker, your team member. Collaborate with AI. Very important. The future belongs to the ready. The future belongs to the ready. But you know what? For you to be ready, you have to start now, not in the future. When you get to the future, you're already late. If you are going to be ready, you have to start now. I've said a lot about AI throughout this training. I've said a lot about where the skills you need to have, the jobs that you need to the roles you need to position for, the industry and the shifts that you can expect. I want you to take this seriously. You may need to go through this training again. You may need to re-listen to this training, but take it seriously. Find some of the skills that you can position, learn it, upgrade, reskill, upskill. Blue Horizon is always there to be of support to you, to provide you with some of the best courses that can move you in the direction to keep you relevant in this new world of work. I want to thank you very much for taking your time to go through this program. It's been a pleasure presenting this to you, and sharing with you some of what we have discovered over a couple of years, working, researching, and engaging with artificial intelligence. My name remains Confidence O Peters, and I am really glad that you took our time to take this training. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you enjoyed it as I enjoyed making it for you. All right, then, till we'll see you again. Have a great time, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.